Okay, so I am going to be playing in a Pokemon Draft League. It's a VGC Draft League. My team name is the Big Lugs because Avalug, right? This is a VGC Draft League, and you're allowed to use mythicals. It's special in that way. Best of 3, mostly closed team sheet except for Terra types, I believe. Anyway, some people who watch me may be confused because I don't really upload Pokemon stuff. I've done like one Pokemon video. But here we are. There's a lot of good players in this league. It's gonna be really hard, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. But anyway, let's get into what I picked for my team. First things first, I was the 17th pick, which means a lot of the good stuff is probably going to be gone by the time I get my first pick. But shockingly, it really wasn't. Like, there was still a lot of good stuff by the time my pick came around. So I was able to get a good pick, with that pick being Chen Pao. Now, Chen Pao is great because of its ability Sword of Ruin, which makes everything have lower defenses when it's on the field. It pairs really well with a bunch of physical attackers. It's just great overall. Does a lot of damage, really fast, especially for this like format. There's no like restricteds or anything. No stupid Zacian Zamazenta with 1 billion speed stat to worry about. I don't think anyone picked like Regieleki. I think that's fine. So this is probably going to be one of the fastest Pokemon in the format. There's a couple things faster, but like, whatever. This thing gets a ton of good moves. It gets like Ice Spinner to counter like any shenanigans with terrain. You get like Priority Sucker Punch. You got Sacred Sword, which can ignore defense boosts. This thing's fun. I think I'm going to enjoy using it. But for my next pick, I got something that goes, I mean, it's like hand in hand with Chen Pao. It's like they're like married or something. They're like kissing all over the place. We've got Dragonite. Now, Dragonite used to not be very good, but this generation it is good. Why is that? Because it can use Terra Normal Extreme Speed with a Choice Band or something and do tons of damage. It's got another set too with like loaded dice Scale Shot, which is fun. But like you can see here, it's only bad stat. It's only mediocre stat as its speed, but like with those two moves, it can kind of ignore that. So you're just like super strong, and it works super well with Chen Pao. You just spam Terra Normal E Speed next to Chen Pao, and it's like, whoa, you just kill everything. It's so awesome. For abilities, we got Inner Focus, Multi-Scale. This is kind of fun. Usually you'd run like Inner Focus to avoid Intimidate and Fake Out, but like there are some teams where I don't really have to worry about either of those things, which just allows me to run Multi-Scale, which is fun. So yeah, I've got a lot of options with this thing. Got a lot of different ways I can run it. I could use it as like a Tailwind setter too, if I need to. Overall, just a fun pick. Goes great with Chen Pao. I'm happy with this. Now, I was making sure to get a bunch of my heavy hitters early on because you can make support out of a lot of different things, right? You can turn anything into a support mon pretty much, but it's hard to find. It's a lot harder. It's not hard necessarily, but it's a lot harder to find something that can dish out lots and lots of damage. Now, I was able to find something that dishes out lots and lots of damage that was pretty cheap in terms of the points required to draft it, and that thing is Palafin. This thing is another physical attacker. I've got 3 physical attackers, but that's like what Chen Pao likes, you know? That's Chen Pao's whole thing. Ability 0 to hero. Once this thing is in hero mode, look at this attack stat. 160? That's crazy. And I got this thing for like pretty cheap. The hardest part about this is that you have to switch it out and switch it back in to get that mode, but like once you do that, it's so powerful. It's just so strong, especially next to Chen Pao. You could just like Terra Water, Mystic Water, Jet Punch next to Chen Pao. You just like kill everything. Like it's just insane. And you could even use Wave Crash too if you need to do more damage. It's just so much damage. Also gets stuff like Flip Turn, you know? It's not really that good on Palo. I mean, you can switch out, but like, you don't really want your your base form taking that much damage, and like you get faked out. I don't know. But anyway, we've got 3 physical attackers. We're kind of weak to Intimidate, so it might be nice to get something that's more of a special attacker. So I went with a special attacker that can also be a physical attacker if you need it to, right? It's got 100 base stats in every stat, and I wanted to, you know, that means it's a mythical, right? I wanted to get a mythical because I can't usually use them, and I wanted to try using one. So we've got Shaman. The grass type is nice, complements my team pretty well at this point. And yeah, 100 in every stat. It's just you can use this thing in a lot of different ways. It gets Tailwind. You can use it as a special attacker. You can use it as a physical attacker with Sword Stance and like Trailblaze to boost your speed. This thing is pretty versatile. You can use it as like, I don't know, support too, if you really want. Not that good at support, but whatever. But overall, it's just like bulky grass type that can do a lot of damage. It just seemed pretty strong, you know, and it's not as reliant on the physical side, so like not as weak to it like Intimidate and stuff. It seems really not that weak to Intimidate anyway because of inner focus on Dragonite, but you know, there could be something with a really high defense stat. You know, could be like an Avalugg maybe. But now I think it's finally time to start picking some support Pokemon before they get taken. Like, I've got a bunch of attackers up front. Now I need some stuff to like kind of round out the team and make it so that I can actually use those attackers well. So I wanted something with Fake Out, and I've used this Pokemon before with Fake Out, and then my next pick, and I really like it. It's got great supporting moves. We've got Tinkaton. This thing gets Fake Out. This thing gets Knock Off. This thing gets Encore. It gets Thunder Wave. Like, this thing could just be so good. It's got a pretty high speed stat. You get some fun abilities. Own Tempo can prevent Intimidate again. Pickpocket could be really fun if I use like Citrus Berry Pickpocket to steal an item. Mold Breaker helps a lot against Goldengo because you usually wouldn't be able to like status it with Mold Breaker. You can hit it with Thunder Wave, Encore, stuff like that. And it doesn't have the highest attack stat, but because it has Gigaton Hammer, which is just like an insane move, this thing can also just be like, it can just be a support Pokemon that just randomly has like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm killing something, you know? And next up for support, I wanted a Redirector. Redirectors are like super good, especially in like closed team sheet where you don't know what your opponent's gonna use. You might want to redirect that away from like something that doesn't want to take the hit. Like, ooh, this thing might have a fighting move and my Chinpow's on the field. Guess I gotta redirect it so that I don't have to worry about it. And so we got Magmar. You might see this and be like, what? That's not fully evolved. That thing probably sucks. But it's actually better than Magmortar because it's bulkier with Eviolite. And you get like Flame Body, Vital Spirit. These are both pretty good abilities. One of them you can't go to sleep, and the other one you redirect physical attacks. Uh-oh, you're burned. Sorry, those physical attacks aren't doing as much anymore. And another shocking thing about Magmar to me is it's fast and it's got a pretty solid special attack. So like, I could catch someone off guard maybe by using this thing as like not a redirector. I don't know. It could be funny. But this thing is great as support and it complements my team well. Got the Fire, Water, Grass core now. And yeah, it's just super helpful. For my next pick, I mean, I can't just have one mythic. You know, I've got to have another one. I've got to go with another one. And I wanted something that's really bulky that can take a lot of hits, because right now I've got some frail stuff on my team. You know, we've got We got the Chen Pao, which is known for being pretty frail. Elephant isn't the bulkiest. I don't have that much bulk, so I wanted something that can take a lot of hits, and it also actually happens to pair really nicely with Chen Pao, I think. We got Pecharunt. This thing can switch in for Chen Pao, take the fighting moves, 0 damage, takes fairy moves well. Look at that defense stat. It's super tanky on the defensive side. It's still bulky on the special side too. And Poison Puppeteer can be really annoying. You can use Poison Gas to just poison both guys, and then it also confuses them because of the ability. Now you're just like constantly chipping away at their health. And yeah, so this thing just gives my team a whole new mode where I don't have to be hyper offense. I can kind of like make it slower, poison some things, confuse things, and it honestly, it just like makes my opponent have to prep so much harder. You know, to avoid like maybe they have to go catch a berry on something or something to avoid being, well, no, they wouldn't go catch a berry, but like you get the idea. Like they have to waste resources preparing for Pecharunt, then they can't use those resources anymore against Chen Pao, whatever. And it's just annoying. You know, I can win games with this thing just from being annoying. You know, I can poison confuse you, keep hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself. And then you just die. And it's awesome. Now next up, I was kinda hoping to get Almont next, but someone else picked it. But it wasn't really the end of the world. I did just want like a good, strong electric type. I thought that would be nice for my team. I decided to go with Raikou. This thing, also another fast Pokemon, another like got strong special attack. I needed more special attackers because I feel like people could just like run a bunch of defense and shut me down. If I just have physical modes. So I wanted a special attacker. This thing gets like Volt Switch, great like pivoter, and inner focus. Again, you can't get flinched. Not getting flinched is just so nice. Don't have to worry about fake out at all. And you know, it's like Raging Bolt is getting all the hype right now because it's so good and strong. But like, you gotta like respect where it came from, you know? Raging Bolt would not exist without Raikou. And I think Raikou needs to prove itself now that Raging Bolt is shown it up like this. And I'm gonna help it prove itself. I think this thing is very good. It's honestly got great stats all around. You could, with Chen Pao, you honestly could still run this as a physical attacker. It might not be as good, but I don't know, it could be funny. But anyway, let's get into my last Pokemon. I am kind of trying to do as much as I can to avoid just getting Intimidate spammed. I'm not gonna lie. So I wanted to get something with like Defiant or Contrary. I also think I kind of needed a fighting type. And I only had 6 points left, which is like not that many. So I needed something, 6 points, fighting type, Defiant or Contrary. Somehow there was actually one there. We got Passimian. This thing actually, the stats are like pretty optimized here. Like, you got your 120 attack, and only having 40 special attack is really nice on this thing. And then it does have the Defiant. Also, Receiver could end up being fun. Like if I put it next to Chen Pao and they're like, I need to get rid of Chen Pao to get rid of the whatever ability. Then it's like, oh, sorry, Passimian's got it now. Haha. That could be funny. It's a little bit slower than I would like it to be, but like I have multiple ways of setting up Tailwind. It should be fine. Yeah, I mean, my team's kind of weak to Trick Room at this point, but I have so many things that learn Taunt. It should honestly be manageable. But I think this thing could be really fun. It has, dude, I was shocked to see this, but this thing has the same attack stat as Chen Pao. So like this thing could do a lot of damage, and I think it could catch a lot of people off guard. They might just see it as like, oh, it's gonna just receiver or something. I don't know, because that's like its whole gimmick. But I think with Defiant, it could actually be super strong. And I didn't know this thing had Defiant until I looked at it. I'm not even gonna lie. So other people might not realize it either, and they might like try to intimidate it, and then be like, uh-oh, I've messed up. So anyway, that is your big lugs for the PokePal Draft League. Bang. This is the team. I'm super excited to use it. I think I got a ton of fun Pokemon to use. I've got a ton of like options for what to do every week. And yeah, matches will start soon, I think. I don't know when they'll start exactly, but they're gonna start soon, and I will be posting them. So make sure to subscribe or do blah 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 blah.